Thank you very much. I want to thank the League of Women Voters for putting this on tonight. I think events like this are so important to get exposure out to the community of all the candidates and what they're going to bring to the table. Without these types of events, we wouldn't have an engaged and informed population, so I would like to sincerely thank you. My name is Andy Vargas. I'm running for City Council. Other than bringing a young perspective, a youthful perspective to the City Council, I'm also bringing a perspective from a community engagement perspective, whether it was working through the Violence Intervention and Prevention Program, helping middle school students, mentoring them, creating bystander and bullying training programs, or whether I'm also bringing a perspective from a business perspective. I myself am an entrepreneur, and while I served in the U.S. Embassy in Spain, I helped small and medium-sized businesses export their products out there. But I'm also bringing this from a public service perspective. We talked about civic engagement, and I've had public service experience and civic engagement experience at the local level, at the state level, and Chairman Brian Dempsey's office, at the federal level, at the White House, and at the international level through the U.S. Embassy in Spain. So I just want to, ask for your vote, but most importantly, tell you that I will not only serve the community as an ear to listen to the issues that you find most important, but also as an arm to act on those issues and solve some of the most pressing problems we have here in Haverhill.
Please identify what you consider to be the 3 most important challenges facing the city of Haverhill. What solutions do you recommend to address these challenges?
So I think the 3 most pressing problems, as we mentioned, number 1, I think we have a civic engagement problem, and there are folks in the community that feel that their local government does not represent them and does not serve them. Number 2, inherently we have a heroin crisis, not a problem, it's a crisis at this point, affecting all members of our community. And number 3, economic development is another issue that we are facing in our community. And I'll briefly touch on what I think we can do for each one of those 3. First, for civic engagement, a few weeks ago I put out a neighborhood association plan which takes a look at this very issue. We've been going door to door, and we hear folks tell us that they feel that their city is not accurately representing them, that them voting does not matter, and that participating in their local government seems like a waste of time. Now, back a few decades ago, some of you may remember, Haverhill had about 13 neighborhood groups. Before I put this plan together, I worked with several individuals who are trying to bring these neighborhood groups back, and we have about 2 or 3 that are active now. So my plan is to bring back those neighborhood groups because they were once bodies of power to get those people reintegrated and engaged with the city. Number 2, our heroin crisis. I think we need to be practical about this issue and realize that what we're doing now isn't working. We need to look at pilots that have worked across the state and even across the country. Maybe Gloucester is a place we should look at because they have had great results. Number 3, I mentioned economic development, and not only do we need to be proactive about seeking new business, we can't sit here and wait for them to come, but we need to go out to businesses and say, hey, what do you need to come to Haverhill? And we need to seek the businesses that we think are a good fit for Haverhill. But on the other side of that, we also have businesses here already that are having a tough time filling job openings. So we need to make sure that we fill those jobs with folks that live in Haverhill. If not, these businesses are going to go elsewhere to find those jobs to be filled. Thank you.
What concrete steps you would take to attract new businesses to Haverhill?
Number 1, I think before we seek new business, we need to keep our businesses happy here because they're going to talk and they're going to give reviews at what it's like to be a business in Haverhill. So we need to make sure that we're filling the openings that they have. If you talk to some of the businesses, as I have here, in the Haverhill Chamber, they'll tell you that there are a lot of openings for jobs here that are going unfilled. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of the businesses that are already here so that they talk positively about us. We touched on marketing a little bit. We need to think of the city as a company. We need to market the city much better in a 21st century way through social media, even through media kits, whatever we need to do to market this city and create a brand for Haverhill. And then number 3, Bill Pillsbury does a great job in the economic development office here, and I would like to partner with him extensively to be out there with him seeking new business, to offer businesses a partner on the city council if I'm able to be elected. Thank you.
Presently, the majority of the city council and school committee members are from only 3 wards. Would you recommend a change in the city charter that would include ward and at-large city council positions to ensure community-wide representation? To accomplish such a change, would the council need to increase from the current 9 positions?
The most effective system through the various academic studies that I've looked at is a hybrid where you have 7 ward-based city councilors and 4 at large. Now, I'm not going to wait until we create a petition, get it on the ballot, and have the city vote on this issue in order to address the issue of lack of representation, lack of civic engagement, lack of participation in the city. I'm going to try to address that issue right now before we get the petitions, get it on the ballot. That's why I put out a neighborhood association plan to revitalize our neighborhoods, but also to give the communities that feel that they don't have a stake in our local government a body of power to represent them at council meetings and to fight for their interests and what they think are the priorities for the city of Haverhill. Thank you.
How can Haverhill reduce illegal drug use, especially opiate abuse, without incarcerating more people and depriving them of needed treatment?
I think number one, we need to collaborate with the state and federal government because this is obviously an issue that extends beyond Haverhill. There's no silver bullet that we can do to solve it. So I hope that with my experience on all levels of government, we're able to do that, to seek more funds, more grants to address this issue. We're all on board that we need to use our education system to prevent students and young people from being tricked into going into using these drugs. And number three, I'm glad this question was asked in the way that it was because I think we need to treat this as a public health and a mental health issue. To define pragmatic and practical programs that get directly at the root of the problem, which is addiction, which is a disease, as Councilor LePage mentioned.
How can Haverhill better administer the available low to moderate income housing programs to support home ownership and advocate for those needing rental housing?
We need to partner extensively with the state and federal government, with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, to increase our programs for affordable housing. But I also think we need to better market our affordable housing programs so that individuals know that these programs are available to them. And I think number three, also, we have a lot of property in Haverhill that is abandoned, and we need to address what we're going to do with that property. And I think affordable housing units is something that we should definitely look into. Thank you. I just thought of a catchy slogan. I'm going to try it. If you want a 10 out of 10 in a city councilor, vote number 10. Again, my name is Andy Vargas. I grew up in Haverhill. I graduated from this amazing high school with some amazing teachers like Tom Jordan and Mark Harvey. I went to Boston University, and I'm back in town because I'm trying to bring my perspectives in three areas: civic engagement, business entrepreneurship, and public service, through my experiences in the Violence Intervention and Prevention program in the high school, through my experiences in helping businesses export their products to Spain, and my public service experience serving at the Massachusetts State House in Chairman Brian Dempsey's office, or at the federal level at the White House. I seek to bring these collaborative levels of government together to move our city forward. If you're looking for energy, if you're looking for innovation, if you're looking for a bright future for Haverhill, vote number 10, vote Vargas on November 3rd. Thank you.